All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again for stopping by, as always. Appreciate it. So, working on my wife's 2016 Jeep Wrangler Sahara, and it started throwing a code, P0218, I believe is what it was. And evidently, after looking online a little bit, it's either the thermostat itself usually being stuck open, not allowing the engine to fully warm up, or people said that it also potentially is the engine coolant temperature sensor. So since the sensor itself is a little bit of a bitch to get to back in the back here, it's all the way back in there behind the O2 sensor on that manifold. A lot of people basically are saying they're able to just replace the thermostat housing itself, and that fixes it. I guess if that doesn't fix it, then we'll go towards the sensor, but I thought let's do the thing that's easiest first. So the thermostat housing is right back into here. We'll be able to show you that here in a little bit after I get the intake tube off. And first thing I'm going to do is end up popping the radiator cap off and then getting down underneath the vehicle here. If you have the stock kind of air dams thing here, you're going to have to take that off first. Mine doesn't have that anymore because we have this tow bar mount here. So what you'll need to gain access to is the radiator drain. Here's the drain plug here. There's the drain port. I love how the electrical is always in the way. So what I'll usually do here is put a hose onto this about a foot or so long, and then put that into some type of catch can. I usually use an old coolant jug, drain it right down into that. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I'll get this started and show you where that thermostat housing is down in here once I get this taken off. All right, so you can see there how I've got it set up. I've got my coolant funnel going down into an old coolant jug. Got that opened up. It's draining in there. In the meantime, come to the top here. Take these bolts out. There's two of them, one right here and one right here. Those are 10 millimeter. And then you can take a flat blade screwdriver and undo the hose clamp there, also right back here, and then this piece will pop up. One thing you will want to disconnect is the air temperature sensor, which is right there. That's your intake air. So what I find on this particular machine, if you undo this and this over here, pull it up like that, then you can take this and flip this over, and when you do, let's see if I can show you. Right there is where you can put a flat blade or a pick tool or something like that, and you can actually just pry right up on that, and then that'll disconnect from the sensor itself. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so now that we've got the intake out of the way here, that's that sensor, the plug for that sensor that I just undid. This is your thermostat housing here. There's going to be two bolts in it. You can see there's one right there. I believe those are 8 millimeter. There's one down here on the bottom. First thing I'm going to do here though is take this hose clamp off right there. Slide this radiator hose out of the way. And I saw one guy do this before, and I'm going to try this myself, is take that funnel, that coolant funnel that I have down below, and set it down in here. I've seen people use like Cool Whip containers or anything like that that might catch this residual coolant that's in here so it doesn't go all over the belts and the pulleys. So I'll try something like that too to help capture that. All right, so I just wanted to show you that here. So I got the hose clamp off of the radiator hose, the upper radiator hose that connects to the thermostat. And I did exactly kind of what I was saying. I got an old deep Cool Whip container that I usually have, you know, spare parts in or something like that. I also use it as kind of like a bolt tray when I'm taking stuff apart. Cleaned it all out and everything. And see if I can show you kind of what I did here without dropping it. Just shoved it right down into here. Held that right there as I pulled the hose off, and you know, you can see it saved about a, I don't know, about a cup or so of coolant going all over the floor. And then I shoved a towel into that coolant hose right there to keep that from spilling any more residual stuff. So now we'll get to taking the thermostat off. Again, that's 2 8mm bolts here. Going to do a similar kind of situation there to prevent the coolant from going onto those pulleys. Probably put a towel or two down there and see how that works. I'll show you when I get the thermostat off. Okay, so now I've got the thermostat housing off here, and one thing to be certain of, you can see this black O-ring there, or gasket essentially. You want to make sure that you peel that old one off. Okay, I'll make sure that comes off, because the new one already has it on there. There's the new part, and you can see the gasket's already on there. Here's the old one. All right, so we'll get back into here. I'll clean that up just a little bit and kind of reverse order this process basically to get this put back together. All right, so I've got the new thermostat housing, thermostat and everything in there. I have the upper radiator hose connected, clamped in there. You'll see that there is a little tab on the new thermostat housing there that you can't push that hose on any farther, so that's exactly where you want to go to. Reclamp that. And now I'm using the radiator or coolant funnel system. You can purchase these off of Amazon. This for the Jeep happens to be the red cap. You put the red cap and the insert there together, and then put your funnel in there, and then the bubbles will start working themselves out of that. You can kind of see that happening there. So what I like to do is get down underneath the vehicle, and I'll start squeezing the lower radiator hose. That'll start forcing all the bubbles up to the top. And then the other thing you can do here is on the thermostat housing, there is the bleeder screw right there. So you pop that open a little bit until all the air comes out of it. And then you run through, everybody does it a little bit differently. I run it through a couple of heat cycles and everything, and have this connected, and you'll start to see the bubbles force their way out of this as the bubbles are forced out of the cooling system. Once that happens, then you know you've got all the bubbles out, and make sure your burp tank is filled. I like to have mine between the minimum and maximum lines, so that's where I put mine. All right, guys, hope that helps if you're looking to change the thermostat on a Jeep Wrangler, or if you're getting that P0218 code. Got that all done and ready to put this thing back together and top it off with coolant. All right. If you like this video, of course, always hit the like button and subscribe so you can see future content that I'm going to be putting out. Hopefully, the Samurai build continues. Kind of had to put that on the back burner for a little bit as other things have come up. But anyway, have a good one. Until next time, thanks for watching.